Hey guys, it's Shah here at the Tech Walk, and in this video we're going to be doing something pretty cool in Python, and it's just something I want to share with you guys, and it's just a code that I've made by myself. So this code is actually meant to find, as you can see, the name of the program is MMMR, and you must be wondering what that is, and that stands for mean, median, mode, and range. So I tried to make a program that calculates the mean, median, mode, and range. So this idea initially developed when I was in GCC, and when I had GCC statistics, I wanted to make my life easier by having something that calculates it for me. I was like, oh, can I try and make a Python program or something to actually do it for me, and not having to do it myself by hand. But eventually I had to do it by hand. But this works pretty well. So this is something I wanted to share with you guys. I'm not making it live, but I'm going to show you how I made it and step by step. I mean, it's a really nice code. It's one of the best I made so far, actually. And to run the code now, F5. Okay. How many numbers are there? I think this was the numbers that are in the set. So if you had like let's say 5 numbers, just to make life easy, 3, 3, 4, 2, 1. So the mean is 2.6, median is 3, correctly calculated, and the mode is something something something. So it gives you the one that's most frequent, as you can see over here. There's 3 2s, so it shows that first, and then there's 4 1s, 2 1s, and 1 1s, and so forth. And the range is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3, so the range is correct. The lower quartile is 2, upper quartile, and interquartile is 1. So it even calculates the quartiles for you, which makes your life so much more easier. And I'm going to show you step by step how I made the initial bits now. So to get to the code now, of course, that's what everyone is after. That's watching the video, how I made the code. So first of all, we have to get the statistics module from the libraries, and then after we get that, we get this. I don't know. This was something I found online on Stack Overflow, I think. From collections import counter. It was used for, I think, somewhere around here. Yeah, for the mode. But anyway, and then you import math, which is the general one, which is the math module. And then over here, I just made a loop so we can constantly just go through that loop in case the person wants to do it again and again. So they don't have to restart the program again. Efficiency points, and then we create a variable here, ask the numbers, and then we create a list of sorry about that. We create a list here. And yeah, and fx is the next bit, which I'll go on to in a bit. So num is equal to num plus 1. That's just for the loop. So let's disregard that for now. So val2 is equal to input. So you keep on entering the number. So this will keep on looping, and you enter the number. And when you get to the point where the number is equal to the value, so if let's say you want to enter 5 numbers, and after you enter 5 numbers, it will stop that while loop and enter this, where you will get to the mean. So it's going to calculate the mean for you. So it's going to sum up all the values in the list. Len tells you the number of values in the list, and then you just do total over amount, which is a normal formula. And as you know, mean is sum of fx over sum of f, which is what we've done over here. Calculate the mean. Over here we just use the statistics module to calculate the median. Again, this code is very nice. I've made it by myself, and I literally just found it on my laptop, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because it was just really nice the way I designed it as well, and it's laid out quite nicely as well. So yeah, so it calculates the mode over here using this counter, which again I found online, so I'm not entirely sure how it works. And yeah, so it calculates the mode here. We've got the median here, we've got the mean here. So the range is straightforward. You just find the minimum value in the list, find the maximum, and then you minus them from each other, then you output that range. Then we have the interquartile range. So this was also very straightforward, because you know that the interquartile range is 25%, and then you have 75% near the higher end. So this code actually does that for you, which I also found online. So this bit I found online, the rest I did by myself. It's very straightforward. So percentile is our function here, where we created a defined percentile function. So we've taken a variable. We've inputted val list into the data and 25 into the percentile. So there's an input of 25 in the percentile. The size is the initial amount, which is what we put in somewhere around there. and just using that, the I here is obviously P75 minus P25, which is your output from this. So as I'm sorry, size is over here. So len of the data. So the data is your this the data is the list that we initially had. So over here, data is counter val underscore list. So that calculates your mode for you as well. Very useful. And now we're using it to calculate the interquartile range, which is brilliant, isn't it? What really intrigues me is how I've made the second bit. Now this bit is much more cool, I would say, because I mean it required quite the thought from my side, if I'm honest. So if I do 5 numbers, this is the second bit is actually unrelated to the first bit of the code. So this is unrelated. So now this bit is different now. So over here we have how many groups are there. So by groups, my point was that it's like class width, so 20 to 30, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. So let's say you had the data and you had like 3 groups, 3 columns. Let's imagine you had 3 columns. Yeah. So now 20 to 30. So we want to so you have to provide the frequency from like the smallest to the biggest. So I mean the interval. So for example, 20 to 30, and I've written it more explicitly that type the smaller one first, like 20. So first you type 20 and then you type 30 when it asks you for. So 20 is your lower side, and then 30 is your bigger side, and then again you enter the frequency, which is, let's say it's 5, and then we enter, let's say the next one is 30 to 40, but this time the frequency is like 10, let's say, and then the next one is 40 to 50, and the frequency is 15. So as you can see, it's very cool what I've done here. So I'll go through it. But it's very straightforward, but it's just cool. So I'll share it with you again. So what I've done here is that the values for f of x corresponding to the group intervals are. So what the system has done is it's taken your inputs, and what it's done is it's calculated f of x, which is in the formula of so the reason I've done this is because is to make calculating standard deviation easier. So this point was actually to calculate the standard deviation. I didn't finish it off, but I thought you guys could try and finish it off and show me how it's done. But I will continue a video on this to show you how it's done anyway. But despite that, the point of this code was to calculate the mean really easily as well. Because for example, we calculate f of x, and now we just need to sum all the frequencies, which is 15, 10, and 5. And then using that, we can calculate the mean of discrete data, not discrete, sorry, class width, data that's within class width. So it makes it much easier, as you can see. So again, this code is very cool. So what I've done here is taken all the inputs, then I've calculated the midpoint of all the inputs, and then you know that to calculate f of x, x is your midpoint, f is your frequency, so you just do midpoint times frequency, and we've kept on looping through that until we meet the number of groups that are initially there. And then as you can see, straightforward, we just append the list, so it keeps on saving each and every f of x, and that's literally it, guys. And then you can sum it all up if you want to using the initial method. So total is sum val list. So over here we can just do sum of f of x, and yeah, that's it, guys. Really, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was not a very long video, but and I didn't really go through any specific program knowledge with you. But what I've done here is I've just given you an idea of the kinds of programs you can actually make if you're really interested in programming. For example, when I made this, I was like, how can I bring in maths into programming, some statistics as well? I was like, how can I make my life easier? And that's the whole point of coding, is to make your own life easier, and that's the point, I guess, that I want to get across in this video. I just want to tell you guys that you guys should just aim to make something that makes your life easier as well. Not only just for fun, but you know, for the sake of efficiency. For example, I've made my life easier by making a program that calculates the mean for me from a table, which is very nice. Quite a long approach for entering the data in the system, but again, it's a nice approach. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like, comment, subscribe.